Arsenal Football Club are going to look very, very different next season. I think Arsenal fans are going to be in for a shock because there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of different targets that we're going to be looking at, and it's going to be a very interesting video. But before I begin, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe and the like as well. It is always greatly appreciated. So, of course, Arsenal want this. The Premier League title, that's what we're aiming for. Champions League as well. Those other trophies we're going to be going for. So we're going to start from back to front. And of course, Joan Garcia. Arsenal are very, very interested in this guy. And I mean, he's the number one target. This is from The Athletic, David Ornstein. His release clause is around £21 million. And it's been coveted for a very, very long time that Arteta admires him. And of course, recently David Raya was given the number one shirt for next season. And Andrea Berta coming in has maybe changed things a little bit, as he doesn't want to really spend that much money on a keeper who's going to be a backup. But this guy is pure quality. You've got Wojciech Szczesny saying, I want to praise Joan Garcia. I think he's the best goalkeeper in La Liga this season. He is a very bright future ahead of him. And then you're looking at stats like this. The blue shows games which you have got man of the match. So you're telling me he has only not got man of the match in only two of his last, I think that says around 10 games. That is unbelievable for a goalkeeper. This guy's a world-class shot stopper. He claims crosses like David Raya. He's younger. He's absolutely exceptional. And I can tell you this guy's going to be one of the best keepers in the world very, very soon. So we'll just start with the goalkeepers, the boring part. But it's probably going to be Raya, Joan Garcia, or a very, very cheap option. Setford or Nygaard. I think one of those two will go out on loan. And that will be our sort of goalkeeper union going into next season. And I'm very, very excited if we can get Joan Garcia, because he'd be a fantastic addition to the side. Let us now move on to the centre-half area, because Arsenal fans, we know we wanted Dean Huijsen, but he's obviously gone to Real Madrid. But Arsenal really want a backup centre-back to Saliba, somebody who does the same qualities that Saliba has, who's slightly younger and can be like an understudy. And well, Arsenal are preparing an offer to sign Christian Mosquera from Valencia. The player's agent will meet with the Valencia and let them know his wishes. This is absolutely unbelievable. This guy is really, really good for his age. I mean, in terms of the big five leagues, under 23 centre-halves with the most progressive carries, look who's there. Christian Mosquera is fourth. Look at Dean Huijsen first. So it's very clear Arsenal are after a profile which can drive with the ball, be creative from the back, create opportunities, put progressive passes, progressive carries. We want somebody who offers what Saliba does in a different way. And I feel like Mosquera is very, very good. It doesn't surprise me Dean Huijsen is on here as well, because it shows we're after the same sort of profile. And if we do look at centre-backs aged 23 or less with the highest percentage of defensive duels won in Europe's top 5 leagues, guess who is there as well? You see William Saliba there, Kubasi, Gehi, you see all of them, but you've got Christian Mosquera, who even has a higher percentage of defensive duels won than William Saliba. This guy is quality, and I think he's only cost around 17 million as well. It's going to be an absolute deal. Forever gets him. If we're going to go for him, I'll be so excited. And also, Arsenal have added Juan Jimenez and Real Madrid's Victor Valdepenas. So these are another two young centre-halves that we're looking into. So you've got Mosquera, you've got Jimenez, you've got Valdepenas as well. Different options. I think one of those guys will be signed to be the understudy to Saliba. Saliba's going to sign a new deal as well. This guy is really, really good. And I'm talking about Juan Jimenez, because look at these stats. For him against other players in the Rosario Central League, he is very, very good. He's got defensive duels won, he's first. Dribble success rate, again, first. I talked about a defender who has this sort of carry rate is really, really good. He is one of them. Defensive duels, very good, second. Goals as well for a defender, second. We know Gabriel can chip it with goals. This Juan Jimenez as well can do that. And this defensive actions, third place. So a very, very, very good player. So if you're looking at the centre-back sort of team next season, I think it will be Mosquera, Jimenez, or the Valdepenas guy. Then you've got Saliba, Gabriel, Kivio, and Tomiyasu, who obviously won't be able to leave because he's got an injury. But when he comes, I think he'll join the centre-half department, because I don't feel like his body allows him to be a fullback, like Reece James. They just cannot deal with the amount of pressure and the amount of running a fullback has to do. And I mean, Tomiyasu's quality at centre-half anyway, so that wouldn't be much of an issue. So when you look at that, Gunners, that looks very, very good. A lot of rotations can happen, a lot of minutes can be shared across, and it's very, very exciting. But let us now move on to the fullback sort of area, and Arsenal have made an inquiry for Club Brugge defender Maxime de Kruijper. This guy is really, really good. We want another different profile in the left back position. For the right backs, you've got Ben White, who's overlapping and more of an attacking output sort of right back. Julian Timber, more defensive. On the left side, you've got Calafiori, you've got Lewis Skelly. They're not really overlap type of players. They can come inside, receive the ball, they can drive really, really good stuff there, but they're not going to be pure output. I mean, goals and assists consistently from going on the outside, quality balls into the box. They're not that sort of player, but I mean, Maxim de Kuyper certainly is. He's in the 99th percentile for expected assists. 97th percentile for progressive passes, 90th percentile for defensive duels won, and 84th percentile for cross accuracy. He's an attacking demon, really, really good at 24 years old. He likes to get forward, likes to get involved. I really love his profile, and I feel like this guy can really help us in the left back position. With Miles Lewis Skelly expected to probably go into midfield, these are the sort of players we need to be targeting. So you'd have De Kuyper, Calafiori, Timber, and White as your fullback sort of squad of players, and then you have Lewis Skelly heading into the midfield. So that's really, really positive stuff, I think. I really like De Kuyper. I like his attacking sort of abilities, and I feel like Mikel Arteta would absolutely love this profile. Now let us get into the midfield. Obviously, don't want to dwell on it too much, but Martin Zubimendi from Sociedad to Arsenal was a here we go from Fabrizio. 60 million euros. He's going to be the first signing. Everyone knows that. Quality player. He's like a smaller version of Declan Rice. This is a really good analyst, by the way, on Twitter. A great passer, defender, can block. He has really, really nice qualities. And we all know we wanted that Locatelli. He went to Juventus in the end. He's cut from the same cloth. So we finally get that profile Mikel Arteta has been looking for a very, very long time. And I feel like he's going to be a great pairing with Mr. Declan Rice in the midfield. But it doesn't stop there, because Xavi Simons is expected to leave, and Arsenal is very, very interested in him. And I mean, you know, this report says from PSG, but obviously from Leipzig as well. He's expected to leave. So I like him. I think he's a quality player. And I feel like we need somebody who's going to put some attacking output. I mean, look at these stats. This season, 10 goals, 8 assists. The season before at Leipzig, 10 goals, 13 assists. At PSV, 22 goals, 11 assists. So someone from midfield, he can play 8, he can play left wing, he can play centre forward, he can play right wing. He can play so many positions, and he can just score and be a pure output merchant. And we need that. Look at Bruno, he gets goals and assists. Ødegaard is more of a connector. Xavi Simons forces it. He forces goals, he forces assists. And we need that sort of profile. Of course, there was talk of El Canus and Eze. They come under that Xavi Simons category at number 8/10. I think we'll definitely get one of those profiles in. But I've gone with Xavi Simons. So Arsenal, next season, Partey is obviously expected to stay. So you have Partey, Zubimendi, Marino, Rice, Simons, and Ødegaard. Very, 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 very good. Fabio Vieira is expected to leave. I think his race at Arsenal is run. But when you look at those midfielders, goodness, do you feel confident? I certainly do feel confident and very, very excited. Now on to the winger category, because it was quite interesting to see this. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea are all showing interest in João Pedro ahead of a possible move this summer. Arsenal are long-term admirers, and they've explored the possibility of signing him in previous seasons. I was kind of shocked to see this. Not that he's a bad player, but he's kind of not really a winger. He's not really a striker. He's not really number 10. He's not really a right. There's not really a place on the pitch where you can place him. And I feel like we need more players who are specialists in their position. And that is no disrespect to João Pedro, who is a very, very good player. And in the report, they said Arsenal would like him to play left wing. So he'd be the left winger signing. So obviously we've got other options like Rodrigo. Arteta's a big fan. If there's a green light, Arsenal will go for him. Obviously the fee is going to be difficult. This is from The Athletic, by the way, who are a very, very good source. You've also got Jamie Bino Gittins, a source in Germany who works for Borussia Dortmund, actually said that Bino Gittins is in quite serious negotiations with Arsenal, 50 to 60 million euros. Very, very good player as well. And of course, Nico Williams, which we'll talk about. But when we look at players that Arsenal are looking at in the left wing position and their output, João Pedro, 17 goals and assists this season. Last season before that, 20 goals, 3 assists, 23 GA. So very, very good. But obviously, he takes most penalties. So I think that's the biggest issue. He takes most of those penalties, and most of his goals come from the penalty spot. But there's no doubt there's a quality player in there. When we look at Jamie Bino Gittins, his first, I would say, proper season starting consistently. 15 GA and 47 isn't bad. There's definitely a player in there. 1v1 quality. I like his profile. But again, it's not really a specialist. Somebody who's going to come in and you can guarantee they'll score an assist. You look at Nico Williams, a bit better, you know, you're looking at that 24 GA in 23-24, 18 GA in 24-25, and of course in 22-23, 13 GA. So some nice little stats in there for him. But obviously Rodrigo is the best. Look at those stats. Very, very, very positive. But I like that we have various different options for the left wing position. Players who can play across the front line as well. It is so important. So when we look at the winger category, Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, João Pedro, Nico, Rodrigo and Gittins. Very, very, very nice options in there. I think it will be one of João Pedro, Nico, Rodrigo and Gittins. But hey, when you look at that, Martinelli is expected to get a new contract. Trossard is expected to get a new contract. We have so much to do. I think we can be quite positive with that. Now, obviously, onto the striker situation. I'm just going to put it out there. Isak, for me, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I feel like Newcastle are going to keep him. And next season will probably be the best chance. If it's not next season, it will be never. Arteta loves him. But yeah, I just want to swipe that one under the rug. But Andrea Berta coming in, he's informed on Ollie Watkins. Mikel Arteta is a fan of the player. Arsenal have concerns over his sort of age and the price. I think Ollie Watkins is a quality player. And it would be a mistake. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. Why? And we're looking at the other players. You've got Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyökeres, two key targets for Arsenal as well, two top quality strikers who I think will definitely make a difference. But hey, let's look at the striker output of the players I have named. Ollie Watkins, 30 goal contributions in 52 games for Villa this season. Unbelievable. Before that, he was even better. He had 40 goal contributions in 53. Before that, he was really good as well. 22 in 40, 13 in 36. Then he had 21 in 40. This is a player who you sign where you can say, win now. And it would be a mistake to swipe him under the rug. I would take him on a 3-year deal for 40 million every single day of the week. Let me know your thoughts. But I think he's really, really underrated and a quality player that we should be looking at. Looking at Benjamin Sesko. This is a young striker, by the way. 27 GA in 44. He doesn't take many pens as well this season for Leipzig. Before that, 20 GA in 42. This guy is getting 20 goal contributions every season at his age. This is a quality young striker. And of course, for Salzburg in the season before, 19 GA in 37. This guy is unreal. And Victor Gyökeres, really, really good stats for him. If you were to ask me, I would have Sesko, Watkins, then Gyökeres. No disrespect to Gyökeres. I think he's a quality player. But that's just my personal preference. But hey, this could be Arsenal's striker department next season. Havertz, Jesus, then one of Sesko, Gyökeres, Isak, the dream, of course, but it's never going to happen, or Watkins. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. Let me know your thoughts on the things discussed in this video. But until next time, peace.